Welcome to Learn English from Stories. Dive into engaging tales that make learning English easy and fun. Improve your vocabulary, pronunciation, and fluency as you enjoy stories that inspire and teach. Let's learn together. We all had one goal: to learn English and adapt to our new lives in New York City. Ms. Leo, our cheerful and patient teacher, welcomed us warmly and asked each of us to introduce ourselves. When it was my turn, my heart raced. I took a deep breath, stood up, and said, "Hello, my name is Emily. I am from Spain. I am here to learn English." My voice trembled slightly, but I managed to smile. Everyone smiled back, and Ms. Leo said, "Welcome, Emily. We're happy to have you here." Her kind words eased my nervousness. Starting the journey, Ms. Leo outlined the course plan. She explained that we would immerse ourselves in English by speaking, listening, reading, and writing every day. "Mistakes are part of learning," she reminded us. "Don't be afraid to make them." Her encouragement gave us confidence. That afternoon, we practiced speaking in pairs. I was paired with Mia. She spoke softly, but with enthusiasm, as she told me about her passion for anime and her dream of becoming an animator. I shared my love for books and my goal of becoming a writer. We laughed at our grammar mistakes and learned new words together. It felt like the beginning of a good friendship. After class, Anna, my roommate from Poland, and I explored the neighborhood. We stumbled upon a small park tucked between two busy streets. The park's benches were shaded by trees, and the sound of birds mixed with the hum of the city. We sat there, talking about our first impressions of the class. Anna said she felt hopeful about learning English, and I agreed. That evening, we cooked pasta together, practicing English phrases like, "Pass me the salt, please," and "How much longer for the pasta?" Our laughter filled our tiny apartment. Adventures in New York. The next day brought new challenges. During a listening exercise, Ms. Leo played a recording of a fast-paced conversation. At first it was overwhelming, but with each replay, the words became clearer. Later, she handed out a short story about a girl moving to a new city. As I read it, I saw parallels to my own journey. In our discussion, I shared my thoughts, feeling a growing sense of confidence. In the afternoon, we wrote about our favorite places in our home countries. I described a beautiful beach near my town, with golden sand and clear blue water. Writing in English was difficult, but I felt proud of my effort. After class, Mia, Anna, and I went to a cozy coffee shop. We ordered our drinks in English, laughing at our mispronunciations, but encouraging each other. Over coffee, we shared our weekend plans. Anna and I decided to explore New York's landmarks. On Saturday, we ventured into the city. Times Square dazzled us with its vibrant lights and massive screens. We took pictures, bought small souvenirs, and marveled at the energy of the crowd. Later, we walked through Central Park, where we saw people jogging, walking dogs, and enjoying picnics. We sat under a tree, talking about our families and our dreams. In the afternoon, we visited the Museum of Modern Art, where we admired famous paintings and tried to decipher their descriptions in English. The day left us inspired and motivated. Building confidence. Sunday was a quieter day. I spent the morning reviewing class notes, reading an English book, and watching a movie with subtitles. In the evening, Anna and I cooked tacos, practicing English phrases as we prepared the meal. "Can you chop the tomatoes?" she asked. "Sure, but only if you grate the cheese," I replied. We laughed, feeling more at ease with our new language. Monday brought grammar lessons. Ms. Leo introduced verb tenses, a challenging topic, but her clear explanations and practice exercises made it manageable. During a speaking activity, I worked with Emily from Mexico to role-play ordering food in a restaurant. The exercise was both practical and fun. After school, Anna and I visited a job center to explore part-time work opportunities. The advisor suggested positions in cafes or stores to help us practice English with native speakers. We filled out applications and felt hopeful about our chances. A growing sense of belonging. As the days passed, our class became like a little family. We supported each other, celebrated small victories, and shared stories from our cultures. My English improved bit by bit, and I found myself using it more confidently in daily life. One evening, I called my family in Spain to tell them about my experiences. Their pride and encouragement fueled my determination. By the end of the first month, I realized that learning English wasn't just about mastering a language. It was about building connections, overcoming fears, and embracing a new life. Each day in New York brought new challenges, but with them came growth and a deeper understanding of the world and myself. Presenting my country. One day, Ms. Leo asked us to give short presentations about our countries. The idea thrilled and terrified me. Standing in front of the class and speaking in English felt daunting, but I wanted to share my culture. I prepared carefully, writing about Spain's vibrant traditions, famous landmarks like the Sagrada Familia, and our delicious food like paella and churros. On the day of the presentation, my hands trembled as I stood before my classmates. I took a deep breath and began. "Hello, everyone. Today, I'll tell you about my country, Spain." As I spoke, I saw their curious faces, which gave me courage. When I finished, the class clapped, and Ms. Leo said, "Great job, Emily. You made us all want to visit Spain." I felt a surge of pride. It was my first step toward building confidence in English. A new opportunity. That Friday, after class, Anna and I received a call from a nearby cafe. They wanted to interview us for part-time jobs. We were both excited and nervous. We spent the evening practicing potential interview questions in English, helping each other refine our answers. On Saturday, we dressed our best and headed to the cafe. The manager, Lucy, greeted us warmly. She asked why we wanted to work there. I explained that I wanted to improve my English and learn more about American culture. Anna said the same. Lucy seemed impressed and smiled. "You both have a lot of enthusiasm," she said. "Let's start with a trial period." We thanked her, beaming with excitement. That evening, we celebrated by cooking a special dinner and inviting our friends. We shared our good news and talked about our experiences in New York. It was a fun evening filled with laughter and hope. The first week at the cafe. Our first week at the cafe was a mix of nerves and excitement. On the first day, Lucy showed us how to take orders, use the cash register, and prepare simple drinks. She patiently explained each step, encouraging us to ask questions. The customers, however, were another challenge. Many spoke quickly, and understanding them felt like deciphering a puzzle. One customer asked for a cappuccino to go, and I had to ask her to repeat it twice. Lucy reassured me, "You're doing great. Don't worry, it gets easier." By the second day, I was more comfortable. I practiced phrases like, "Would you like sugar with that?" and "Have a nice day." Anna and I helped each other during breaks, laughing about our small mistakes and celebrating our progress. One memorable moment happened when a customer asked for a muffin. At first, I thought she said coffee and almost charged her for the wrong item. Realizing my mistake, I quickly corrected myself. "I'm sorry, did you say muffin?" She smiled and said, "Yes, thank you." That small victory boosted my confidence and reminded me that learning comes from making mistakes. Day at the beach. After a busy week at the cafe, Anna and I had a day off. We decided to visit Coney Island. The subway ride was long, but we passed the time practicing English and talking about our families. When we arrived, the beach was stunning. The sun sparkled on the water, and the soft sand felt warm under our feet. We strolled along the shore, chatting about our dreams. "I miss my mom," Anna admitted. "I miss my friends in Spain," I said. Despite our homesickness, we felt proud of how far we'd come. We sat on a bench, watching people swim, play volleyball, and enjoy the day. When we got hungry, we bought hot dogs from a food stand. The vendor asked, "Do you want ketchup on yours?" I hesitated but replied confidently, "Yes, please." It was a small interaction, but it made me feel more at ease speaking English. As we ate, we talked about our future. "I think I could work in a cafe forever," Anna said. "It's fun, and I'm getting better at speaking English." I smiled and said, "I want to be a writer. One day, I'll write books in English." Back to class. The next day, we returned to class, where Ms. Leo introduced new grammar lessons. Although the rules were tricky, I was determined to understand them. For homework, she asked us to write a short story about a time we learned something new. I decided to write about my first day at the cafe. I described the nervous excitement, Lucy's kindness, and how each challenge taught me something valuable. As I wrote, I realized how much I had grown since coming to New York. Reflecting on my journey, every day brought new challenges, but also new victories. From giving presentations to navigating a job and exploring the city, I was learning and growing in ways I hadn't imagined. New York was big and sometimes overwhelming, but it was also full of opportunities. As I looked out of my apartment window that evening, the city lights twinkling like stars, I smiled. My journey in New York was just beginning, and I couldn't wait to see what the future held. Overcoming challenges in class. At the end of the week, we faced our first big test in Ms. Leo's class. Everyone was a little anxious, but I was determined to do well. I spent the evening studying hard, reviewing lessons, and practicing conversations with Anna. We also read English books borrowed from the library. When the day of the test arrived, I felt nervous but prepared. The test covered grammar, vocabulary, and reading comprehension. I took my time, carefully answering each question. Afterward, Ms. Leo surprised us by asking a question. "What do you plan to do after you finish learning English?" she asked, her warm gaze encouraging us. I raised my hand and said, "I want to find a better job and become more independent." Anna added, "I want to speak English fluently and travel the world." Ms. Leo smiled at us. "You're both doing very well. Keep practicing, and you'll achieve your goals." Gaining confidence at work. The next few weeks at the cafe were full of learning moments. Lucy gradually gave us more responsibilities, trusting us to handle tasks independently. One morning, she asked me to take an order by myself. A man approached the counter and said, "I'd like a coffee, please." My heart raced, but I remembered what Lucy had taught me. "Would you like milk or sugar?" I asked, trying to sound confident. The man smiled and said, "Yes, both, please." I quickly prepared the coffee, handed it to him, and he said, "Thank you." That small interaction left me glowing with pride. I was learning not just English, but how to connect with people in a new culture. New adventures in the city. Anna and I decided to explore more of New York during our free time. One weekend, we visited the Museum of Natural History. The exhibits fascinated us. Massive dinosaur skeletons, sparkling gemstones, and detailed dioramas. We tried reading the descriptions on the displays, using a dictionary to understand difficult words. "Look at this one," Anna said, pointing to a giant amethyst. "It's so beautiful." I nodded, adding, "I didn't know rocks could look like this." After the museum, we strolled through Central Park. The autumn leaves painted the park in shades of gold and red. We sat on a bench, enjoying the crisp air and sharing our dreams. "I want to see the pyramids in Egypt someday," I said. Anna grinned. "And I want to visit the Eiffel Tower in Paris." Celebrating milestones. As the weeks went by, we grew more confident in our English skills and our jobs. Customers started noticing our efforts. One woman said to me, "You have such a nice smile. It makes my day better." Her kind words made me realize how much I was improving, not just in English, but in building connections. Ms. Leo continued to challenge us in class. One day, she assigned us a speaking activity about our favorite holidays. I chose to talk about Christmas in Spain. Nervously, I stood before the class and described the colorful lights, delicious feasts, and joyous traditions. When I finished, Ms. Leo said, "Excellent work, Emily." You're becoming more confident. Building dreams. One evening after work, Anna and I visited a small restaurant for dinner. It was our first time eating out just for fun. The waiter handed us menus, and we excitedly tried to read the items in English. "I'll have the chicken soup," Anna said confidently. "I'll have the salad, please," I added. The waiter smiled, taking our order without hesitation. It felt like a small victory, a moment that symbolized how far we had come. Back at our apartment, we discussed our future plans. "I want to keep practicing English so I can write stories about the places I visit," I said. Anna nodded. "And I want to use my English to meet new people and learn about their cultures." A journey of growth. Every day in New York brought new challenges, but also opportunities for growth. From learning how to make a perfect cappuccino to giving presentations in class, I was building skills I never thought possible. The city, with its endless energy and diversity, became my teacher. Each interaction, whether at the cafe, the library, or the park, taught me something new, not just about English, but about resilience and curiosity. As I looked out of our apartment window one evening, watching the city lights twinkle, I felt a deep sense of gratitude. My journey was just beginning, and I was excited for the adventures ahead. "I felt good today," Anna said. "I understood everything they said to me." "Me too," I replied. "I think I am getting better at understanding their orders." After work, we went to the park to relax. We liked to talk about our experiences in New York and what we had learned. "I want to visit more places in the city," Anna said. "There are so many things to see." I agreed. "I want to see the Statue of Liberty and the Empire State Building," I said. The next weekend, we decided to visit the Statue of Liberty. We took the subway to the ferry station. The ferry ride was exciting. We could see the whole city and the big buildings. The water was beautiful, and the sky was clear. When we arrived at Liberty Island, we saw the Statue of Liberty. It was bigger than I had imagined. We took many pictures and looked around. There were tourists from all over the world. Some were taking pictures and others were reading information about the statue. We walked around the island and learned about its history. It was interesting to know that the statue was a gift from France to the United States. We read about how the statue represents freedom and hope for many people. We even climbed up to the pedestal to get a better view of the city. After we left Liberty Island, we went to a nearby cafe. We ordered sandwiches and talked about the statue. I didn't know it was a gift from France. Anna said, "It's amazing." "Yes, it is," I replied. "I'm glad we came here today." The next week, Ms. Leo gave us a new lesson about past tense. She taught us how to talk about things we did in the past. It was a little hard, but she explained everything clearly. We practiced by talking about our weekend plans. I went to Liberty Island with Anna. We saw the Statue of Liberty. Anna said, "I went to the park and relaxed." I also watched a movie. After practicing, we did some writing exercises. We had to write about something we did last week. I wrote about the day I visited the Statue of Liberty. I wrote, "I took the ferry to Liberty Island. I saw the big statue. It was amazing. Anna wrote about going to a concert with her friends. She said, I enjoyed the music. It was a fun day. After class, we went to a coffee shop to practice speaking. We ordered drinks and talked about our week. I feel like I'm improving, Anna said. I can speak more easily now. I agreed. Yes, me too. I understand more when people talk to me. The next weekend, we went to a new neighborhood in New York. It was full of small shops and restaurants. We walked around and looked at the stores. We found a small bookshop and decided to go inside. The shop was full of books in English. Anna picked up a book about New York, and I picked up a novel in English. We both wanted to improve our reading skills. We paid for the books and left the shop. Let's read our books tonight, I said. I'll try to understand more words. Anna smiled. I'll do the same. That evening, we read our books. It was a little difficult, but we helped each other when we didn't understand something. We looked up words in the dictionary and practiced reading out loud. It felt good to be learning new things. The next week, we had a speaking test in class. Ms. Leo asked us to talk about our favorite hobbies. I talked about reading books and writing stories. Anna talked about her love for cooking and trying new recipes. We both felt nervous, but we did our best. After the test, Ms. Leo said, "You both did very well. Keep practicing and you will continue to improve." We both smiled. We were happy with our progress. At work, we kept practicing our English. We learned new phrases and words to help us at the cafe. We also started to understand the customers better. One day, a customer asked for a tea with honey. I remembered what to do and made the tea. The customer said, "Thank you. This is exactly what I wanted." I felt proud again. The weeks went by quickly, and we were both getting better at speaking, listening, and reading in English. We still had challenges, but we kept practicing every day. We knew it would take time, but we were excited about learning more. One evening after work, Anna said, "Do you think we are ready to speak English outside of class?" I thought for a moment. "I think we are," I said. "We just have to keep practicing." Anna smiled. "Yes, let's do it." We were both excited to use our English in more real-life situations. We knew that learning English was a journey, but we were ready for the next step. Chapter 5. The next week we decided to be more brave and speak English outside of class. We wanted to practice with people we met in the city. One afternoon we went to a small cafe near our apartment. We decided to talk to the waiter in English. When we entered, the waiter smiled at us. "Hello, how can I help you?" he asked. Anna and I looked at each other. We were a little nervous, but we took a deep breath. "I'll have a coffee, please," Anna said. "And I would like a sandwich," I said, and the waiter nodded and wrote it down. "Anything else?" he asked. We both smiled and said, "No, thank you." When the waiter brought our food, I said, "Thank you very much." He smiled and replied, "You're welcome. Enjoy your meal." We both felt happy because we spoke to him in English.